Hey everyone, it's Angie here, your trainer. Just going over some mobility movements today in this video here. It's super important, like I've said, to focus on form, but we also want to make sure that we have a good range of motion, mobility to be able to perform these workouts, these exercises, and to maximize our results. So we're going to run through some exercises. These are just to prime the muscles either before a workout or you can do these after. It's kind of a little bit of mobility work. You can revisit this video anytime you'd like to practice these movements to develop a better range of motion and better mobility. Okay, our first movement is going to be our 90-90. So we're going to take our feet out wider than shoulder width. They're going to be at a 90-degree angle. So we're going to take our hands back behind us. We're bracing ourselves up, keep that chest up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to drop our knees. Both knees are going to go over to the left. So staying up, keeping your chest forward. Your legs should be at a 90-degree angle here. You can hold this for a few seconds. Then we're going to push over to the other side. So your legs should maintain a 90-90 degree here the whole time. You can run through this a few times. I would do it for about a minute or two for this movement. This is going to definitely help with your squats. Once you get comfortable with doing these, the idea is to come up and be able to do it without holding on. So your hands go forward and you switch over. Next movement is going to be coming into our downward dog here, pedaling out our feet. So this is really going to stretch out those calves, the hamstrings, get everything going. You're also holding yourself up, so you're opening up your shoulders. So your hands are going to come about shoulder distance apart here. Feet are hip width apart. We're going to come here, and you're basically just going to pedal those feet out. So you can do this for about a minute. You can rest in between just to activate those calves. Okay, moving on to some mobility work for our upper body. I'm gonna do an upper body pass through. So if you wanna grab a towel, what I do here is I make sure there's about that much length here. So my arms are out just a little bit wider and then probably actually about a foot from my hips here. So I'm gonna slowly go up. And then if you can, you're gonna pass it all the way through. You can have a slight bend, that's fine. This is just gonna get a good range of motion here for our shoulders. If you can only go to up here, that's fine. Just slowly maybe come back on down and then go up again. Our next one is around the world pass through. So same idea, but we're gonna keep that tension here. So we're gonna lead with one arm first. So this is a really good one, especially if you know that you're gonna be doing shoulders or upper body. Even to do it after, just to get everything moving again. These are not about speed. You're gonna pass it through. The pedal is nice because it gives you a little bit of give if you do need to bend it. Some people do use a broomstick to do this, or a like thin piece of pipe. Good. Okay, and then you can just go back to the regular ones. Okay, another really good one for range of motion. This seems like it's simple, but it's really not. These are so hard to do. An overhead squat. So we're gonna use our towel still. We're gonna hold it up so it's kind of slightly in front of us here. We are going to try and keep our chest up and squat down. I know it seems simple, but for a range of motion, for some reason, this is super hard. Most people can't do these, but we're going to squat it down, keeping that chest up, and the arms up. So definitely a good movement to practice. So for our next full body motion, mobility, whatever you want to call it here, we're gonna do a Frankenstein to Superman. Now you can switch these up. You can do one leg and then the other, or you can focus on doing one at a time. So our Frankenstein is basically a opposite toe to finger. So it's kind of like if I was just doing Frankenstein, they would look like this. Okay, so there's our Frankenstein. So what I say to Frankenstein to Superman is gonna go, say I was just doing one leg, I would bring it up. So this is really good, obviously, for our hamstrings, our glutes, everything, get everything connected here. And then I'm gonna go up to a Superman. So I'll show you that from the side. So there's my Frankenstein to Superman. So I'm hinging, right? So kick and then hinge. So you can practice those as well. You can switch it up however you like. Next one is our standing figure 4. If you have tight hips, especially most of us sit a lot during the day, this one is super good. So basically all you're gonna do is you're gonna grab onto, if you need to like lean against something, the wall or whatnot, that's totally fine. But you're gonna grab onto kind of like your foot or your ankle and your knee here. So you're in a figure 4 kind of, and you're basically just gonna pull that up. So as I pull that up, I really feel that stretch in my glute there. So then you can just switch them. So then pull up. Oh, it feels good. And pull up. So you want to try and keep your knee and your, I'm not as flexible here, so it's hard for me to do this. So to keep these guys parallel, so your shin is parallel, and bring it up. We just have 2 more mobility exercises to get through. Our next one is going to be what we call the bird dog. So most of you have probably done the bird dog in some type of class or something, but usually a lot of people use it for a core exercise. It is an awesome core and glute activation exercise. So what we do is we come into our tabletop. So our knees are stacked underneath our hips, our hands are stacked underneath our shoulder width apart. We want to try and keep that back, so we don't want to round it up. We don't want to arch it too much here. We want to try and keep it nice and flat. Our gaze is going to go down, so our spine is nice and neutral. We're going to lift our opposite arm and our opposite foot up. So it's going to come up. You want to think about that from your fingertips to your toes in a nice straight line. And then we're going to switch them. So you want to try and get those fingers and toes as far apart as possible. So you're really stretching out here, keeping that core nice and engaged. Okay, so that's another one that you can do for a good minute or so and incorporate with all the other ones. Okay, one more to go. All right, so our last exercise here is going to be what I believe they call the best stretch in the world. So this one is super good. It opens up everything. It feels great. So what we do is we come down. So we're kind of in a high plank almost. You're going to step. So let's start with this right side. So you're gonna step that right leg straight up as much as you can here. So you feel a good stretch in that quad, in that hip. And then we're gonna take so the right leg is stepped up. We're gonna take our right arm and we're just gonna open up. So nice, a big stretch. You feel a stretch in your back and your chest muscles, your shoulders. And then all you do is you bring it back down and then you switch it out. So then you step it down, step the left up, open up here, and great. So you just keep alternating those. You can hold them as long as you want. It does feel good eventually. These are all super great, especially if you're sore, your range of motion is lacking, which most of us are. We a lot of times tend to sit or we do the same things throughout the day. So our range of motion, it basically sucks. So if you do this, you can come back to this video as often as you like throughout this program, either like I said, before a workout or after. It's definitely gonna help with that range of motion and possibly your soreness. And of course, hitting those good lifts are gonna help so that you can add some weight and do it effectively so that these workouts are effective and you do not injure yourself. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this and I will see you in the workouts.